You can go.
Hey, welcome back to our program. This is a relatively new show format, Mike.
We've done things similar.
Very similar, but with our guests today, it was our hope to start a trend of bringing on interesting individuals that are students here at the University of Rio Grande Community College, and we have a great opportunity in the classroom and in your involvement with the fraternities and meeting all different kinds of students from all different walks of life. And it's
It's like a video production. We say everyone's got a story.
Yeah.
And some of those stories are not from here, which makes them even a little bit more interesting, where we can learn from them and the way that they live their life.
That is so true. As a matter of fact, my wife mentioned earlier this year that she would like to go to South America and see some of the countries and some of the different highlights. One of them was Rio de Janeiro.
Right.
And
you were just wanting to go there to see the girl from Ipanema.
I didn't know they were from.
Yeah.
I'll be quite frank with you. I know very little about South America. I know very little about Brazil, except on some of the things that we've talked with. Well, it's our fortune to have a student. He's a very good student. I've known Heitor DeMelo, and I probably am saying his name wrong. Through my class work, I know that he's very active with some of the media people here at the University of Rio Grande, and we got to talking, and he comes from Brazil. He's a soccer player. He's a student that's being involved with the business plan, and he's going to be graduating soon.
Great.
So it's our pleasure to welcome Heitor DeMelo.
It's my pleasure to be here and have this opportunity to talk with you guys, try to show a little bit of my country, talk a little bit of my culture and how the things works over there in Brazil.
Good. I'm looking forward to a really good understanding of Brazil and different things. First of all, I am curious. We are now at the beginning of our football season, and when we call it football season, we play it differently than what is called in the rest of the world.
Yeah, they don't use their feet only to run, and they touch the ball. It doesn't seem much like football.
No, it doesn't. So,
In football, the rest of the world plays with their feet.
Yeah.
The real football, right?
The soccer.
And I know that Brazil is one of those leading countries that is very, very good when it comes to soccer and playing in soccer.
Yeah, the culture in my country, the soccer is more a lifestyle than just a sport. We grow up with soccer and we have soccer in our television all the time. The sports program will cover 30 minutes of soccer and like 5 minutes of other sports.
Recording.
And was interesting for me to come here and see a country that offer more options of sports for the students, for the young kids that will grow up and will have the possibility to experience different sports and finally choose which way they want to go. And in my country, or you play soccer, or you won't have a lot of visibility.
Oh, that's interesting.
So when you decide to go and play soccer, you decide to take this for your life, and will be like you will try to make it a profession, and you want to become a professional soccer player. So that is the motto for the kids over there. They want to be a professional soccer player.
And I know that you're very active on Rio Storm, that you're very active in our soccer games. How did you find out about the University of Rio Grande?
When I was back in Brazil and I decided to change my life, I had the opportunity to come to US through a company that I was in contact with coaches here in US, and Rio Grande ended up offering me a very good opportunity to conciliate the academic side and also the athletic side, when I could develop myself as a soccer player and as a student. So my decision to come to Rio was crucial. Maybe no, for sure the best decision of my life.
So what do you want to do after college?
I won't lie to you and say that I don't want to keep playing soccer if I have the opportunity.
Sure.
Because if I had the opportunity, I will keep playing soccer. That is the thing that I love and the thing that I carry with me. But I'm studying marketing, and I had the opportunity to build a very good schedule, trying to match the theoretical side, the theory, with the practical side. So I'm studying marketing inside the classroom mainly, and I have the possibility to create things on a photography class, on photography as a minor. So there will be another branch that if I had the opportunity to keep following, I will follow the marketing side.
So is University of Rio Grande the only school that you have attended in the United States?
Yes.
And have you had a chance to visit parts of the United States?
Yes.
Different parts?
Yes, I made a very special trip to California when I had the chance to drive all the coast on the Highway 1, and it's a beautiful place that I love it, mainly in Santa Monica. But my favorite city here is New York.
New York?
New York has something that I don't know what it is, but it's something very special that attracts me a lot. Maybe that all that the lights and Times Square, the marketing thing, the people, I don't know why. Broadway is one thing that I love it, but
There's always something going on.
New York has my heart in USA. Yeah.
You know, it's rather interesting, Mike. We have a number of students that are used to a small town living, and sometimes they look at larger cities as being out of their element.
Yeah, I could never survive there. And
Yes.
Being scared.
Yes.
Most of the Americans you talk to around here probably haven't been to New York City or Chicago or a lot of the big places, and some of them haven't been out of Ohio.
Yes, and I think it's just fantastic that we have an international student. Let's see, you grew up in San Paulo,
Yeah.
which is a rather large city.
Yeah, São Paulo is one of the biggest cities in the world. So it's a city that every time is something happening, something new. And the city gives you the opportunity to explore everything and try different things, different tastes, go to different places. For one good example from my city in São Paulo, the state of São Paulo, is Santo André. And on this city, I have the chance to go to right in the middle, downtown São Paulo, in 40 minutes away. But also, if I go to the other direction, if I go to the south, I will be on the ocean.
Fantastic.
So it's amazing. I'm blessed for having this chance.
Well, no wonder you like New York so
Yeah.
well, because it's right on the ocean, and it's filled with a lot of different possibilities and nightlife and date life. And
Yeah, I would say that is a little bit more, because New York is one city that we always heard people talking about, very beautiful images, and when you get there, is like it's a dream come true. So you see everything, you got amazed with all this movement, with all these people, with all that things going on. So it's beautiful.
you know, Mike, you were mentioning a little bit ago how we learn in different countries. We learn about people through television. And you want to share the story you shared with us?
Well, like my mom's from Germany, and so I have a whole German family over there. I went to visit them over there in 1980, and what do people see from there, or at least back in those days, in the 80s and 70s, was westerns. And so a lot of my family thought, well, you have a horse, right? Because everybody has a horse. Everybody lives like on Dallas, or
were
when
you-
my mom came over, figured that the sidewalks were these boards, like you see in the old West towns.
Oh, yeah. You rode in stagecoaches
Yeah.
and steam engines.
No, but that's all they have to build their view on a country is the media. And
Well-
that's all you saw at the time was Westerns.
Oh, that would be interesting. And that sort of brings up a point. What did you know about, or what?
What did you expect to
Yeah.
find when you came to United
Yeah.
States?
The movies, what the movies give to us, like all the parties, the college life, or the progress. It's one thing that you expect coming from the South American country. You think that you have more chance, you have more opportunity, you have things to learn. So that ambition was always on the back of my head, and that was the thing that I was expecting, to improve my knowledge about everything, also the language, and come here and actually learn things. I came here my expectations was come here and learn things, and I knew that whatever the place that I choose to go, I will learn something, and that was the crucial thing for me.
Were you disappointed?
No,
Okay.
no, and like
Was
I
there,
said,
well, like the Welsh girls who just came over here, you see a lot of stuff in the news about guns, and they figured everybody was toting a gun.
Yeah, they were.
unfortunately, people have that thing that we will never happen with me. So, was the best choice that I made was embrace the experience,
Right.
not leaving my clothes inside my bag. You know what I mean? And live the experience, a full experience.
Right.
So, embrace the country, embrace the culture, embrace all the opportunities that I had. If it's in the soccer side, go and play, give everything. If it's on the academic side, try to be the best too.
Right.
So embracing the experience was, I think, the secret to try to forget a little bit of my parents, my friends, the things that I miss in my country, and actually live a good life here
Well, good.
in this period
Good.
that I have the chance.
Just like I was in the military, and we were stationed in Germany overseas, and certain people would be, again, like here, scared to go outside the base.
Yeah, that's true.
And you need to go outside and,
Yeah.
and take advantage of
Yeah,
what
that's true.
being stationed there offers.
Sure.
What do you like about here?
I
Like you think about going home, what do you think you would miss?
honestly, the most thing that I miss is how cheap the things are here.
How what?
Cheap.
Cheap, okay.
Yeah. So with the money that you can make here, even in the college, that you will be working in the for the college for a short period of time, and you can go and actually buy things, I feel great about it. Because in my country, if we go like for the most superficial thing, as a T-shirt, clothes, you will pay a lot of money. If
Really?
you want a different brand or a designing clothing. So here, you can get these things for like cheaper price. And there's one thing, and I would say that the cheeseburger here is better.
Yeah. I hope we know how to make a good cheeseburger. And what do you miss from Brazil when you're here?
Everything. Like, that is my home country.
Right.
So I miss the small things from the biggest things. I miss my friends, I miss my family, I miss the weather.
Yeah,
But-
I can see that being in Ohio.
But like, there's one thing that if I leave the US and go to China, for example, I was still missing my home, right? It's
Sure.
your home, it's your base,
Yeah.
your roots are there. So I think it's normal when.
I wasn't sure if there was a certain kind of food that you can't get here. That,
Yeah, like the real barbecue that I will say, like the Brazilian, we made like a real good barbecue. But in here in US now you can find like Brazilian steakhouse that offer the same service and the same quality of food. So
Oh, that's the Brazilian steakhouses where they just keep chopping off the meat and serving it
Yeah,
until you
exactly.
say that's enough.
When you just turn the green or red on the sign, and they'll keep serving you. And if you've never been there, you should try because it's
Yeah.
very good.
Very good. I know that the Olympics recently was held in Brasilia. Is that correct? Or
No, the Olympics is
Rio.
is in Rio de Janeiro.
Rio. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. And the country certainly had a lot of tourists from throughout the world come.
Yes.
And were you able to see any of the festivities, or were you involved with schoolwork?
Yeah, I watch a little bit on the televisions. Obviously, that I was following the soccer, and we won our first gold medal of the history. It was in home, so that was very good. But Rio de Janeiro is the most famous city in my country. So
Yes.
they used to have like people from all around the world. So for the country, it's very good. The opportunity to show a little bit of more and try to make people get more interested in the country.
Sure.
Because I think that Brazil has a very good. Brazil has everything, you know, but people don't know how to explore that very well. So if we have the chance to show that to the world and show all the nature, the people, the things that we were able to do, is amazing. It's a very good opportunity too.
Very, very good.
Now, you said Brazil, they speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
Why does most of the rest of South America speak Spanish and Brazil is Portuguese?
Because Brazil was colonized by Portugal, so and the other countries, Spain. So the Brazil at some certain point was split one half Portugal and another half Spain. After Portugal unified everything, so we end up speaking Portuguese.
Okay.
And we changed a lot of this language too. So the Brazilian Portuguese is unique in the world. So
Do you have a founding father person that you look back to? You know, like we have a Columbus Day. Do you have a day like that for
yeah,
someone?
we have our Independence Day.
Okay.
We have a lot of folklorical things, and as all the other countries, we celebrate our victories and like wars, the everything, and battles that happen inside the country between states.
So when did you come up to play for Rio Storm? When was it? Just this year or last year?
No, it was 2013.
2013.
2013 was my freshman year here, and unfortunately I had a bad injury. I tore my ACL, and I stayed out of season, and I couldn't redshirt, so I lost that year mainly.
Oh, okay.
And I came back to play on my sophomore year with all that afraid of re-injuring myself and not trusting myself, but I had the support from my coaches, from my teammates, for the staff who take care of us on the training room, and we did a very good season so far on that year. But the highlight of my career here obviously was my junior year when we won the national tournament.
That is
I think
fantastic.
we've got a picture of that team.
But by the way, we have Dwayne Rigsby. Dwayne is the technology
Coordinator.
specialist at Ohio State University South Centers. There we go. So which one is you? Let's see
On
if
the
we
back,
can.
the number 13.
Okay, next to the last on the back.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Very good.
And then we've got a couple other pictures. Just click on them from.
This is São Paulo.
And so what, is that a bridge?
Yeah,
What-
this is a bridge.
Oh, that's very nice.
São
Wow.
Paulo too. So São Paulo doesn't have a lot of space if you go downtown.
Yeah.
São Paulo. Rivers crossing. That is the national.
That's the day you
Yeah,
won the
the day that
national
we won the
championship.
national championship.
And who did you play?
We played Mid-American Nazarene in the final.
That was their homecoming when we had a little thing for them at Conference Room C.
Are you going to do it again?
We hope so. We work hard for that. The feeling is very good.
And have you played
Okay,
yet?
so this is part of your. You're in. What's the class you're in where you produce this?
Photography and designing class.
Right.
So the last.
The other pictures also.
This one wasn't work with it. I did it with a double exposure. This is a T-shirt design, also for the arching department. A logo that I also created during one of my classes. This is a project that I did that the name is Listen to the Walls, when I put like biggest reference from different kinds of music, different rhythms on the walls of Rio. So this is the wellness wall, the building. So I did it on the Photoshop.
So you didn't spray paint the
I
wall.
think that looks like a painting. This is the cafeteria wall.
Yeah, this one looks.
With Elvis.
So rather than actually paint this, you took a picture of the wall and then you added through Photoshop.
Yes, and this is one of the works that I'm most proud of, to celebrate our title, when I also show a little bit of the diversity that we have in our team, the internationality
So you've got
that we have.
people's faces painted with their country's flags.
Yes, so this is Kenya, Netherlands, United States, obviously, and France. There is a kind of examples, just a little examples of the nationalities. This is like a photography project that I made with a couple that was getting married.
Very good.
So
Those are very nice.
You do good
Thanks.
work.
Yeah. So what are sort of your plans? Finishing up. I believe you're going to be graduating this coming May.
yeah.
2017. So what are your plans after that?
My plans is actually try to face the challenge of growth, growing up finally, and getting to the market. And first I have to decide which way I'm going, if I'll keep the sports as my priority or I'm going to work with my degree and all the knowledge that I'm getting here as a college. So I didn't decide yet, but I hope that I will find my path as fast as I can, and I want to stay here. I think that I can explore more the country, and that is a country that can give me a lot of things. So I want to stay here and complete my cycle here with a great job, and build a great career around.
Very good.
I think that's a possibility that I'll chase.
Yeah.
If you were to go back to Brazil, since soccer is the key sports down there, etc., would that be a direction that you would also want to go, or?
To go back to Brazil and play soccer would be very difficult right now, because I'm coming from a college, so I won't have the professional background to step in a professional club, because the systems there are a little bit different. You grow up in a club, sign contracts, you become a pro. So coming from a college, I won't have the credibility to say, hey, I want to play professional, so it will be a little bit difficult. If I have to go back to my country, one thing that will give me a lot of advantage is my degree, is the fluency in English, is the knowledge, the theoretical side that I will be able to apply that, and it will give a lot of credibility for me over there.
Yeah, I would imagine.
In your field, though, I've toyed with the idea of going to Germany. I don't speak German. I speak about this much. But in the field of communication and photography and publishing pictures and advertisements, you have to have a very good grasp of the language.
Yeah.
Because, symbolism and plays on words and rhyming and different things can be tricky if you're not.
Yeah, but like with the support that I have here in the college, and also the people that I will take with me mainly like forever. I think that I will have this necessary support to consult someone and keep improving my English with time. I think there's a time that I will improve my English and take this lack of proficiency in some things like the communication. But for me, the main thing is deliver the right message on the right time. And if I can make people understand what I'm trying to say, it can give me a little bit more of time to adapt to the perfection of the language. And
I'd say also you would have a fresh
communication.
outlook on things, a different perspective.
There's one thing that I try to do is give different perspectives, different point of view, and try to show what I am, my vision of the thing, and hoping that the people will like that and embrace that and keep giving more opportunities to show what I'm seeing.
I think that's so important. You know, working in, you know, I work in Ohio State University and the University of Rio Grande, and both are international schools. And the flavors that come together, the traditions, the culture, the different things, etc., are extremely important for individuals in college to really understand that we are not just our own little island. We are a world.
Right.
And
The world gets smaller when you start using the internet.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And you have something that many individuals in the United States don't have, and that's the ability to speak two languages.
Right.
Maybe three.
I have a little professional proficiency in Spanish that I can understand and can speak a little bit. Not perfect, but I can
Get by.
Those are things I wish I had, but I don't.
Yeah, those life experiences to build that, so I'm very thankful for that.
Well,
Is it hard for you to transition between languages?
Yes. I still using a lot of the Google Translator to help me on the writing things, but
one thing I've found, at least from my family, is you might be able to speak the language, but in your head you always count in your original language.
Sometimes, like on that conversation, I try to not think a lot in Portuguese because it can like mess with my thinking and thinking process. But I think that when you live in the country and you see like there's the difficulty of speak the small things, you start to learning more, and you have to push yourself to understanding and speaking and all the communicate process.
That is true. Heitor, I want to thank you very much for coming on our program. I hope that we see more of you either behind the studio or in front of the studio. I think it's very, very important that we have a good person being involved with the University of Rio Grande. So thank you very much for coming. Mike, I look forward to our next spotlight sometime in the near future.
Yeah. It's not quite a regular program, but we'll do them as we can find them.
Yeah. So I'm Patrick.
I'm Mike.
Heitor.
Thank you for
Thanks for
listening
watching.
and watching.